Note to self: when you're living in a city which is not next to a coastal area, do not eat seafood because it will give you some horrible nightmares in the toilet next day. Oh, yo, what's up? How's it going? How do you like my new haircut? Made it myself. I was just sitting here on a weekend just thinking about what to make a video on, and I happened to find my old Samsung IEMs, the earphones that I got from the box of my Galaxy Note 8. These are, like I said, they're IEMs. They are in-ear monitors meant for a neutral audio. So I thought, why not talk about IEMs and the upsides that they have over traditional earphones. I did briefly talk about IEMs and their benefits over normal earphones in my Blopunk EM10 review. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out from the cards right there. But in short, IEMs are meant for natural audio output, like they are meant for monitoring audio and listening to music as it is without saturating its original frequency. When I was starting out checking out different products, I only knew one kind of earphones, the ones with elevated bass and extremely high treble. I thought like they are the only pair which is actually good because they synchronize perfectly with the genre of music that I'm interested in, hip hop and heavy metal. Both of them have bass heavy and treble heavy touches to them. But turns out investing in IEMs is a little bit more beneficial than buying a bass heavy pair of earphones. Now yes, I do use a bass heavy pair of earphone in my everyday usage. My daily driver is a pretty bass heavy wireless earbud. But from time to time I find myself looking for a wired earphone that can give me the natural frequency response. Now of course there is no such thing as one size fits all, so you won't like one earphone over the other. But over the past couple of months I have got to try a bunch of IEMs and I have grown to really like them. So now I always carry a wired pair of IEMs in my bag whenever I find the need for them. But let's say you're someone who is not going to edit any videos. Should you be interested in an IEM? I think you should. For the rest of this video, let's just focus on the use of these earphones only for listening music and for multimedia. Let's not include audio monitoring and everything else in this topic. Okay, so let's just say that you are looking for a wired pair of earphones for listening to music. Should you be interested in an IEM? Yes, and here's why. Bass isn't the answer to everything. I've said this before, not every music can handle bass. If you listen to, say, classical music including a lot of string instruments with bass heavy earphones, you will not get the best sound quality out of them because string instruments, they focus more on the mid-tones and bass is a low-end tone. So as a result, when you're listening to that kind of music, you will have to crank the volume up even higher because the earphone drivers in your preferred earphone, they're looking for low-end tones and they're preferring low-end tones over mids. So you will get a weaker audio output as compared to even a cheaper pair which does not focus much on bass. But what if you're someone who's not into mid-tone level music at all? What if you're an absolute bass head? Well, even then, I think you should consider buying an affordable in-ear monitor as a side earphone like I have. You will notice from time to time that some music does sound better on a flat frequency response without any kind of equalizer saturation added to it. I'm not the only one who thinks so. I mean, take Samsung for example. They started including in-ear monitors in their phones packaging way longer than I have been using them. When I got my Note 8, the in-ear monitor had earphones in them which I did not realize their value back then. I was really disappointed with their sound quality and I kept complaining everywhere that I posted about these that these don't have good bass response. Why is Samsung marketing them as a premium pair? They are not very good. I failed to realize that they are actually better than half the pair I've tried in my life. I just didn't know what to look for in them. These in-ear pair tuned by AKG are phenomenal to say the least. Their wire quality and build quality are pretty good, not the best, but the sound quality is absolutely one of the best I've heard out there. And again, in terms of sound quality, I'm not saying that they have excellent response when it comes to music. They just give you a flat frequency at a very admirable around 18 ohms of impedance. Now, why am I so excited over these wired pair of earphones? Well, because they really outperformed every single pair that I've tried after this, because back then I completely ignored these and I just went for the Boat Bassheads 225. I was using those because they are, as the name indicates, bass heads. and I was just listening to bass heavy music all the time, so I thought these are not good earphones, but they were not just meant for the type of music that I was listening to. But after I gave them away to my friend, I decided to break these out just for a few days until my next earphone arrived. But I ended up cancelling my next earphone because I loved these over the time that I used it. Things might sound really flat and boring for the first few minutes, but as you go deeper into this neutral realm of music, you will enjoy it so much that you don't want to switch to any artificially enhanced bass heavy music anytime soon at all. You even feel that you want to tone down your built-in equalizer on your phone to get a more natural frequency response, because at the right volume levels, music sounds completely different than what it would on a same bass heavy pair at the same volume. So like I said already, bass heavy earphones, they tend to favor the low end frequency only, whereas every single music file that you're listening to has frequency spread across low, mids and highs. So you're not really getting the full experience with a bass heavy earphone. Trust me on this. Even if you're a bass lover, once you get used to how beautiful and neutral an IEM sounds, you really don't want to switch to anything else for a long period of time. Like, I don't break out my wireless earbuds every time I want to listen to music now. I prefer these over those, and only time when I do break them out is when I'm in public transport and I don't want to deal with wires. That's the only reason. So yes, I'll leave a link in the description for a couple of my favorite IEMs. You can check them out if you like. Just don't expect that as soon as you put them on, they'll blow your heads away or something. It takes time to get used to them. In a way, it's an acquired taste for your ears. You need to give it some time before your ears and your music taste can adjust to this relatively flat frequency response. If you're coming from something like a Boat BassX225 or any of the JBLs, which are notoriously bass heavy, it's not a good thing, believe it or not. You will find that these are incredibly flat. Like, you will find that something's wrong with them, or maybe they're not working well. But trust me, that's the way music files are supposed to be. Everybody's music tastes are different, and you're right, you may not like them at all. So just go for the pair that I have linked below, which are all returnable, meaning that if you don't like them within 15 days, you can just return it back to Amazon and get a full refund. Okay, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about in this video. Again, links to some of my favorite IEMs are in the description, and you will also find a link to my tech blog, dopetechfever.com, where I talk about stuff like this and some gadget reviews, tech news and more. I don't have any schedules for making videos, so I just upload them whenever I can, so maybe you should stick around if you would like to. You can watch these for the time being, and with that, I'll see you next time.